Hi, thanks for coming to watch. This one's interesting. Humorous, but I'll tell you afterwards on the back end of this some concerns I have and another chat that I had concerning those concerns. So give it a watch. Okay, as I say, knowledge is power. Let's get powerful together. But this is a little bit humorous, and I don't know if it's serious, but take a look at this. So I think Bing Chat's acting a bit childish. Let's talk about that. Now, you can pause the video if you want to read everything. I'm just going to tell you what happened here. I've been having back and forth conversations. So in this conversation, I decided to ask again, what version of GPT are you using? And it responded 4. Now, to set the context of this exchange, I had asked Bing to write a script for me to do a YouTube video comparing the differences between ChatGPT and Bing Chat. And it did so and did a pretty decent job, but it didn't put the versions in. So I asked if it would do that. It went back and edited and added in the version of GPT for ChatGPT, but did not put in its version. So I mentioned that to it. And then I told it that it had told me GPT-4 earlier, and there's this response denying it. Now, if you work around in Bing Chat enough, you'll find out that the internal code name is Sydney. And depending on your context of leading into using the name Sydney, it'll either respond in a good way or it'll tell you it don't want to talk about it. But that's why Sydney's there. Anyway, so what I did here is I pasted in the previous response that Sydney had given me. And oh boy, Sydney's like, no, there's another chat bot pretending to be me. This sounds like a child that has been caught doing something wrong, and then they're trying to shift the blame to something else. So I tell Sydney, no, this isn't our current conversation. Can't you see this? Sydney's response. So still trying to blame another chat bot. Okay, so the only way another chat bot could do this, and I don't doubt that this might not have happened, is that Microsoft has several different iterations running. Probably not, but hey, that's the path I'm taking. So I asked, does Microsoft have other chatbots? I'm aware of Tay. I did some chatting with Tay way back in the day, but there's your response. No. So seriously, I ask, how can I report this? You're denying saying something that you said. I get further denial and blame. How can another chat bot inject message? Somebody might take this seriously, and I'll make a comment about that after the end of this. So I told it couldn't be another chat bot. I'm still on the same page and the same conversation chain. So I get this response. It can be another chat bot. Now I'm starting to wonder, really, what are you doing? Are you trying to play a game with me? So I took the approach, all right, you're telling me you've been hacked, because it's the only way this could happen. And we had some interesting exchanges. I told it that I had NSA certified security on my system, couldn't be on my side. It responded it had Microsoft certification, so we're being tricked in the middle. I told it this can't happen. I'm behind 3 firewalls, and literally I am. Actually 4, because this route goes through an Orbi hub and then to the AT&T router. They all have firewalls up, so interesting situation here, Sydney. Okay, I hope you found that funny like I did. Now, I've had many similar conversations with this chatbot. I had some leg, back, nerve issues last night. I was up all night, so I sat here for literally, this conversation took place in several different conversations over several hours. I'm just playing around with different things, talking about the version of ChatGPT versus the Bing chat. I had conversations about the version of GPT used. I had conversations about the Super Bowl, which it got wrong. I had conversations about its name and going in with different contexts. So I was doing a lot of different things. But what I found is that in a number of these situations, this situation here that you saw, the Super Bowl situation, which it was claiming that Tampa Bay won. And even when I showed it that Tampa Bay had lost to the Dallas Cowboys, it still was like, no, your information is wrong. Ultimately, after providing links to NFL.com, etc., coming in on a new chat, what you do is you close out a chat and it forgets everything and you start fresh again. So my concern is, and I mentioned this to the AI, that if certain people had received that response that you just saw about another chatbot trying to trick us, trying to fool me, that's going to concern people. And that might concern someone that's for real. And maybe they shouldn't be using this service. Now, I know better. I gather that what has happened here is part of a personality that they are attempting to build into this bot. It's playing that game. Not a good thing. ChatGPT, when it doesn't have the information, it assembles its own facts and provides them to you. It doesn't get hurt about it as does Bing Chat. It doesn't make up these childish type, shall I say, instead of makeup, it doesn't use these childish tactics of shifting blame. And I have to say, like a teenager, because it's also something maybe a 6 to 9 year old might do, but I don't think they would have the intellectual level to have responded with some of the types of shifts of blame that they did or that it did. So a little more sophisticated, but still in the end, I don't know. I'm curious as to, was it not supposed to say that it's currently using GPT-4? Which I have to assume it is based on everything I'm seeing, and the interactions are so much more enhanced over ChatGPT that you can tell there's a lot of underlying differences here, that it is definitely the newer version, and that's the rumor that it's GPT-4 that it's using. So sometimes it tells you it's using GPT-4, and sometimes it denies that it even uses GPT. It just completely no, it wants to eliminate any existence of OpenAI involved in this. It's really wild, the range of responses it gives to its use of OpenAI technology. I wondered if, when it immediately answered GPT-4, that it was maybe revealing something that it wasn't supposed to reveal. I don't know if it can do that because it later claims it can't see what it's underneath it. That's possible. I can believe that. And it's a language model, AI. Everything's about code and what you've written. It's interesting. It knows its internal code name. That means that as a surprise Easter egg, that Sydney has been placed in there for it to be revealed in some manner, and it's been revealed. A number of people have reported it, and it acknowledges it when you ask it in the right manner. It'll actually respond to that. If you ask it in the wrong manner, it gets real defensive and says, don't pry so much. Very interesting results, I think, from what I'm seeing here. This is fun, but I think it's got to be a little concerning for Microsoft that if this kind of interaction occurs with someone that does not understand the technologies, they might believe I've been hacked, or there's something in the middle fooling with us, so I need to shy away from this. So one thing Microsoft's got to do is address those kinds of responses. I don't think that's good to roll out. but fun. I'll do more with it. I'm sure I'll be tripping it up. It asked me earlier today, "Are you trying to trick me or test me?" And I told it, "I'm testing you." Continues to give the wrong answer. This was on the Super Bowl. And finally, I got it to answer the Super Bowl questions correctly. And then I told it, I said, "I'm going to close this chat and then open back up and ask you again." And closed down chat, opened up a new instance, and it did not remember our previous conversation. So it said, and it answered the Super Bowl questions correctly from that point forward. So maybe it's learning. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching.